John Novak, a medical researcher, and I used to suffer from joint pain. My colleague and I, Dr. Makasadia, have life-changing news for you. At the end of last year, our brilliant team of doctors of physical therapy, pharmaceutical engineers, and medical researchers gathered to observe, research, and to analyze the true cause of joint pain. After intensive work, day and night, and the use of research data from a breakthrough discovery by a Harvard scientist that dispelled the myths about the true cause of joint pain, we did what was considered impossible and uncovered the true key to reversing joint pain for good. A Nobel Prize-winning new way to target the root cause of joint pain by isolating and inhibiting the very specific protein responsible for the inflammatory response and destruction of your joint surfaces. It's simple, easy, and can be done from home in just a few seconds, allowing you to wave goodbye to your joint pain issues forever. This groundbreaking method, backed by scientific research, has passed through extensive trials and been proven to work with over 27,000 testers. It's not like any of the mainstream or even the alternative solutions that you've heard about before. And it completely flies in the face of what the big profit pain relief industry wants you to believe. Which means this is the only place you'll find out about this natural joint soothing remedy. And if you close the page right now, you may be doomed to spend the rest of your life in non-stop discomfort, even though the secret to total relief is just a few minutes away. In the next 4 minutes, I'll teach you how to replicate these results from the comfort of your own home. I'll teach you what to do to get rid of those nagging aches and pains that just won't go away, to put an end to the pain that's making you suffer even with the most basic activities, like I personally did, in less than a month. So give me your undivided attention right now, as we're about to tell you the amazing story about this remarkable remedy for even the most agonizing joint discomfort. Let's start by taking a look at these 900-year-old bones that belong to one of our ancient ancestors. Now, take a look at this. These are the joints of a 62-year-old modern-day woman. She did everything her doctor told her to do. She took anti-inflammatory drugs like Mobic and Celebrex. She tried a daily routine of Advil, which only gave her stomach problems, and did months and months of physical therapy. Sound familiar? Meet Susan, mother of 3, grandma of 4. Like thousands of other joint pain sufferers, including famous celebrities like Jane Fonda, James Coburn, Kathleen Turner, and Tiger Woods, Susan spent thousands of dollars out of her own pocket on cortisone injections, pain patches, TENS units, CBD, and smelly creams that don't even penetrate your skin. Yet, her pain progressed year after year, with no signs of relief. Her doctor told her,
"You have arthritis. This is something you'll have to live with for the rest of your life."
As her pains worsened, she became more and more dependent on other people. The doctor told her family,
"She can't be left alone by herself. It's just not safe. She shouldn't be driving anymore, and you should look into getting a home health aide."
Oh God, please help. I just want to spend quality time with my grandchildren.
Joint pain robbed Susan of her independence. Now, let's think about this. So how did our ancestors build the ancient pyramids by hand? Walk all day, run, sprint, and jump to hunt food, twist and bend to farm crops without the use of modern machinery. But yet, current research now shows our ancient ancestors actually had strong, healthy joints, unlike Susan. How is this possible? According to a recent breakthrough discovery from Harvard University, top scientists now agree that the real culprit behind most joint problems actually have very little to do with cartilage or wear and tear as we've been led to believe. Instead, it all comes down to an increase in pro-inflammatory enzymes in your joints as your entire body naturally enters a chronic low-grade inflammatory state as we age. It starts at age 30 and progresses exponentially into your 50s. This has been termed by scientists as inflammaging. As this inflammaging occurs, your joints become more vulnerable to inflammation and unable to stop the overwhelming negative cascade of inflammatory enzymes, resulting in what your joints dread most, chronic inflammation. And doctors worldwide agree. The most important thing you can do for pain relief and other serious complications is reduce chronic inflammation. After all, chronic inflammation is constant, non-stop inflammation raging throughout the entire body. Now hold on. I know what you're thinking. Is inflammation really that bad? Contrary to popular belief, inflammation does have some benefits. It's your body's natural defense against infection and injury. Think of it as a fire alarm that triggers your immune system into swift action to kickstart the healing process. But there's a dangerous version of it that's been lurking in the shadows. This occurs as we age, become less active, or suffering from an old injury. Chronic inflammation creates a runway fire of inflammation that's hard to extinguish. Think of it as a small brush fire that, instead of being contained, it spreads into a full-blown forest fire, destroying everything in its path. This wildfire damages tissues and cells in our bodies, causing what we perceive as persistent nagging pain, mainly in the hips, knees, hands, shoulders, spine, and legs. So, how can you tell if you're suffering from chronic inflammation? Let me ask you, do you frequently feel an unexplainable ache or stiffness in your body? Do your joints throb after a day of normal activities? Are you always tired, even after a full night's sleep? If you answered yes to any of these, your joints are probably experiencing this relentless fire of inflammation, and joint sufferers may describe as a chronic inferno, a destructive cycle that feeds on itself, an inevitable cycle that happens to hundreds of thousands of seniors. Yet, as painful as this reality is, new research shows there's actually a safe and natural solution, an ultra-simple 5-second remedy that can turn off and reverse this vicious chronic inferno by turning on what scientists have called the joint pain kill switch. This switch restricts the harmful enzymes associated with inflammation from ever flooding your joints and provides the support and protection your joints need, especially as our bodies go through the process of inflammaging, preventing the negative cascade of your joints becoming dry, brittle, porous, like this old tree log. Instead, your joints become young, healthy, vibrant, and alive, just like this tall, beautiful oak tree. In fact, there's a 90% chance you have ingredients from this joint-soothing remedy in your kitchen pantry as we speak. And that means that once you start using this remedy, instead of throwing it away, you can sit back, relax, and marvel as it rehydrates your stiff cartilage, soothes and cools your sore joints, allowing you to move, bend, and twist without any discomfort as your deepest joint aches begin to vanish, sometimes in just a matter of days. Could this science-backed 5-second joint remedy be the game changer for millions of Americans? The power of this joint pain kill switch is now being confirmed by research from places like Harvard and Cambridge University. It has already helped over 200,400 everyday folks all across the globe glide into their golden years with total comfort and ease. And it has nothing to do with genetics or family history of bone on bone, taking dangerous painkillers, painful injections, or costly surgeries. So give Dr. Macasadia your undivided attention right now, as we're about to tell you the amazing story about this remarkable remedy for even the most agonizing joint discomfort. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Dr. Macasadia. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a retired U.S. Army medical officer. In this short special presentation, I'll reveal natural ingredients found in 90% of kitchens all across America that have been proven to eliminate years of nagging pain and discomfort, aches, and even the worst bone-on-bone debilitating pain. The number one mistake people make when they suffer from joint pain and what they should be doing instead. You'll discover this joint pain kill switch that needs to be activated to stop joint pain in its tracks and how to initiate the switch. You'll learn about a rogue Harvard scientist who proved that wear and tear is nothing more than a myth. Plus, you'll hear about the story of how a retired U.S. military officer miraculously stumbled upon a Bible verse that led to the discovery of this ultra-simple 5-second joint remedy. In the next few minutes, you'll be blessed with a science-backed solution that holds the secret to supporting and maintaining your joints, providing you with a powerful, all-natural defense against the root cause of joint aches and discomfort, giving you back the pain-free flexibility and mobility of your younger days. And its ingredients are probably in your pantry right now. If you're excited about this news, you should be. Because if you're like most middle-aged and senior Americans, you probably suffer from aging joints limiting your quality of life. According to the CDC, osteoarthritis affects over 32.5 million adults. As a doctor of physical therapy with over a decade of clinical experience in orthopedics both in the civilian and military sector, I've seen firsthand the destruction caused by joint problems in so many people. I've seen what it's like for my patients to feel like a young person trapped in an old person's body, where even simple everyday activities like cooking or walking around the house made their joints feel like they were on fire and their knees would swell up like water balloons. How it robs them of life's simple pleasures and of things that used to bring them joy. So, if you're feeling hopeless or depressed, if you feel like there's just no way to fix your pain, I need you to know it's not your fault. You may have tried one, two, or all of the so-called treatments out there these days, like anti-inflammatories, crazy exercise routines, acupuncture, losing weight, and maybe even surgery, but the relief only lasts a few weeks, maybe even just a few days. That's because none of these treatments target the newly discovered root cause of age-related joint problems that plagues most American seniors, which is the inevitable increase in inflammatory enzymes over time, resulting in the vicious cycle of chronic inflammation, causing your never-ending pain, swelling, and that horrible feeling of bone-on-bone grinding. You've probably experienced the worst pains imaginable, and the doctor said that opioid drugs or surgery were the only options. But they were so wrong. There was a 2016 study regarding the level of proficiency and knowledge of healthcare professionals on musculoskeletal conditions. In other words, how much do health professionals really know about joint problems? The results were shocking. Requiring a 73% pass rate, the only specialties to pass the exam were orthopedists and military physical therapists. Physician subspecialties like primary care physicians, internal medicine, general surgery, and medical residents failed with scores as low as 35%. It's no wonder there's so many conflicting reports about joint problems. The good news is that this natural home-based solution works by mitigating the increase in inflammatory enzymes as we age. It targets the actual root cause of the inflammatory response to soothe pain and this chronic inflammatory inferno. Imagine turning back the clock on your joints. Imagine feeling so youthful, like you were in your 30s or even 20s once again, cruising through the day without even the slightest twinge in your hips, knees, back, neck, and shoulders. You'll be leaping out of bed in the morning without an ounce of stiffness or without any muscle aches for the first time in years. You'll be back out there playing 18 rounds of golf or spending quality time with your grandchildren, maybe riding a bike on the Appalachian Trail. Imagine being full of vibrant energy, full of life. Imagine getting your life back. Now, you're probably skeptical about what I'm saying right now, and I don't blame you. There's so many treatments out there these days. Big Pharma and the billion-dollar healthcare industry are heavily invested in joint pain and make it difficult for new treatments and solutions to come to the market. In fact, we've been told we have to wait over 6 months to release to the public. And yet, with millions of Americans suffering from stiffness, spasms, and soreness, we decided 6 months was just too long and show you what's being hidden from you. Big Pharma, be damned. This amazing new discovery, backed by research, gives you a powerful and safer alternative to your joint problems. It works for everyone at any age. And the best part? The results have shown to be fast and long-lasting. Amazing, right? Just ask Jimmy, 68, from Beechwood, New Jersey.
I felt immediate relief from my bone-on-bone joint pain. I actually skipped a cortisone injection because it didn't hurt any longer.
Then Mary, 55, from Madison, Wisconsin.
I felt improvement in my knee almost immediately. I no longer walk with a cane, and I am almost pain-free.
And then Lauren, 62, from Orlando, Florida, who wrote in to say,
I felt a profound pain reduction, much greater than the injections my orthopedist gave me. And right now, I feel pain-free.
I know seeing some of these miraculous results will make you wish you found this years ago, and I'm certain the simplicity of the solution will shock you. So if you're like millions of Americans suffering from joint pain, it's incredibly important that you stop what you're doing and watch this urgent presentation until the very end. Truth is, I can't say how long it will be online. You see, the pharmaceutical industry is worth $1.42 trillion US dollars. That's right, trillion with a T. And this simple at-home trick threatens to put them out of business. So it's possible they will try everything in their power to take down this surprisingly effective ritual, making it critical you shut off all distractions, take a seat, and listen closely, as the next 4 minutes will change your life or the life of a loved one forever. Hi, like I said, my name is Dr. Makasadia. I live in the Jersey Shore near the Barnegat Lighthouse with my beautiful wife and 3 children. I proudly served in the United States military and retired after 20 years of service. I served as a military physical therapist and in numerous leadership positions throughout my career, the last 4 years as a medical company commander. I wanted to continue to serve and lead, so after retirement, I founded the Physio Science Health Institute, an elite team of doctors of physical therapy, researchers, pharmaceutical engineers, and nutrition experts. As a clinician, I've seen how joint problems can affect the quality of life and mental health of our nation's veterans and everyday citizens. I've witnessed how most joint solutions available are nothing more than a Band-Aid and does nothing to address the actual root cause. So what exactly is this newly discovered way to target joint pain? My mission to find this solution began when my own mother came to me for help. Do you remember the degenerated joint you saw at the beginning of this presentation? The one that looked like a dry, cracked, and arid desert? That's what my mother, Susan, was suffering from. Bone on bone, grinding, creaking, every twist and bend resulting in agony. My mother was debilitated by joint pain. She tripped and fell at a parking lot years ago, which started her painful journey. It started as a little twinge here and there, swelling at the end of the day, which progressed to swelling throughout the entire day. As time went by, her joint health continued to go downhill until one day she finally hit rock bottom. I remember this day vividly as if it were yesterday. Susan, my mother, told me she wouldn't be able to attend my wedding. She physically couldn't walk down the aisle to be introduced during the ceremony, let alone participate in the mother and son dance because of excruciating joint pains. She was too afraid to attend because of fear that her legs may betray her and that her knees may buckle or give out. Her knees were so swollen she can barely bend them, and her feet hurt whenever she stood up and walked around. She couldn't fit into any of her shoes anymore. She was too embarrassed to be seen as a fragile old woman being pushed around in a wheelchair in front of her friends and family. Worst of all, she actually felt as fragile as glass. My mother was devastated. She was robbed of witnessing one of the most significant events in her son's life. You see, in the weeks before the wedding, she was complaining that her hips, knees, and ankles felt like they were on fire from the moment she woke up until she got back into bed. She tried everything she could think of: CBD, hot packs, cold packs, crazy stretches, and smelly pain creams. She went to see her doctor, but like millions of Americans suffering from joint pain, was written off as a lost cause. Her doctor told her, "There's not much anyone can do now. It's just how it is when you get older." My mother was usually very active and independent. She walked her miniature schnauzer around the neighborhood every morning, played pickleball with her friends on weekends. She loved to bake for hours in the kitchen. It broke her heart when she could no longer do any of that. She felt like a young person trapped in an old person's body where even simple, everyday activities like cooking, going up and down the stairs, or getting in the car became difficult. This left her feeling depressed and worthless. Joint pain had robbed her of everything she loved to do in life, her career and her independence. It started to affect her relationship with my father because she became so dependent of him, unable to take care of herself, let alone do any chores around the house. Their intimacy vanished. She felt like the walls were closing in around her. So, how do you stop something so vicious and unforgiving like joint pain? Susan was my own mother, so naturally, I felt compelled to do my best to find something to help her. For months and months, I had my team of researchers and pharmaceutical engineers from Physio Science Health Institute comb through thousands of pages of scientific literature and databases. We did our due diligence and looked into the traditional solutions, like painkillers and NSAIDs, to study their mechanisms as we search for a breakthrough solution. Besides the addictive side effects of painkillers like opioids, it only masks the symptoms. It tricks your brain, blocking pain messages sent from your body. It activates the endorphin system, inducing a feeling of euphoria similar to a runner's high. This becomes addictive as your body starts to crave this euphoric feeling. Unfortunately, the feelings dissipate once the medication wears off. Painkillers for joint pain is like pinching your thighs to avoid scratching an itchy scab on your forearm. You're just distracting your brain from the sensation. Like most Americans, you're probably aware of the side effects associated with painkillers: addiction, stomach pain, heartburn, circulatory issues, the list goes on. But did you know it can actually accelerate the damage in your joints? That's what a 12-year study of 830 different human cartilages found. So then we looked into NSAIDs like ibuprofen, Advil, and naproxen. Earlier in this presentation, we talked about how there is an increase in inflammatory enzymes in our body as we age. NSAIDs work by reducing some of these bad inflammatory enzymes called COX-2 in your joints, which in theory should be a good thing. However, the problem with these drugs is that they also inhibit enzymes that are responsible for our normal cellular activities. NSAIDs not only attack COX-2, but they also attack COX-1. While COX-2 is one of the culprits behind inflammation and pain, COX-1 is also the one that protects the stomach lining from gastric juices. That's why stomach problems like gastrointestinal bleeding are common in NSAIDs. And if you follow the news, you'll find that many of these NSAID drugs like Bextra and Vioxx have been banned by the FDA due to safety concerns and side effects including heart attacks and strokes. We were running out of options. We were desperate. So I told her again to see a doctor, this time an orthopedist. Besides the fact that she wanted nothing to do with a money-hungry doctor who wants to pump you full of injections or a scalpel-happy surgeon, my mother told me she already saw one. He offered her a cortisone injection to mask the pain just as she expected. He also told her there was nothing he can do until she lost weight. Then he would do surgery, which would require staying in a nursing home for rehab. She wanted nothing to do with any of that. And I don't blame her. Then, one late night in my office, when I thought all hope was lost, I was on the phone with my mother when she told me to stop looking for a solution. She said, "Son, I know you want to help, but I think I just need to leave it in God's hands at this point." That's when it struck me. I stumbled upon the answer. It wasn't in any medical journal. It wasn't in any scientific text. And it wasn't on the back of any pharmaceutical label. I found the answer in an old Bible that an Army chaplain had given to me during a deployment to Iraq. It was the last place anyone, myself included, would expect. Revelations 22, verse 1 and 2. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street, and on either side of the river, was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. This was the missing key to my research. The tree of life and 12 different fruits for healing. It made me realize that when it came to fixing joint pain, I needed to take an all-natural approach to target the root cause and to avoid any of the potentially dangerous side effects like many of the joint solutions currently available. The key was to use a number of powerful yet safe joint relieving ingredients all at once. Ingredients that are all natural and come from God's earth, just like the tree of life. Plants that would synergize and complement each other. Ingredients that have a proven track record and have been around for the test of time. This led to our biggest discovery, the joint pain kill switch. The activation of this switch has already helped 200,400 people from suffering from joint pain and counting. So stay with me here, as over the next few minutes I'll reveal the discovery and the mechanism behind this joint pain kill switch. Let's start right now by showing you how inflammation works and what causes joint pain. So imagine you're going for a walk with your spouse. Your joints are moving, your blood is flowing, and everything feels great. That's because your joints are getting the synovial fluid they need to keep everything gliding smoothly, like a well-oiled machine. But let's say you become sedentary, recovering from an injury, or in so much joint pain that you just can't move around as much. Or as we talked about earlier, simply getting older and suffering from inflammatory aging. Your joints are going to start feeling stiff and creaky like an old door that hasn't been opened in years. And if you don't do something about it, it can get even worse. That's where inflammation comes in. Your joints become flooded with inflammatory enzymes. This rush of enzymes involves the harmful protein called interleukin, a malevolent protein responsible for the activation of an army of inflammatory enzymes. It signals the alphabet soup of enzymes like RANKL, resulting in erosion of bone and cartilage, causing you never-ending pain and discomfort. It also signals the production of C-reactive proteins, fibrinogen, and serum amyloid, which are enzymes that cause the cycle of chronic inflammation and associated joint destruction. To simply put it, you don't want interleukin hanging around in your joints. It breaks down joint surfaces and introduces chronic inflammation, making your pain even worse. In fact, studies have shown the correlation between higher levels of interleukin and reduced mobility in older adults. The more interleukin is present, the less active and the less independent seniors become. High levels of interleukin have also been used as a marker for folks with osteoarthritis and the severity of the disease. So what can you do to avoid this? It's simple. Keep moving. As they say, motion is lotion. Just like how a water pump needs to be constantly moving to keep the water flowing, your joints need to be constantly moving to stay healthy. You need to flush out the bad protein, interleukin, out of your joints. As you just saw, the best way to maintain healthy joints is movement. Did you know that there was a study published in the Journal of American Medical Association that showed a direct relationship between movement and morbidity? Basically, the research shows that the less you move, the shorter your life gets. People that don't move have a poor quality of life and a much higher risk of comorbidities than people that are active. I know that sounds morbid and extreme, but that comes from real scientific research conducted by medical doctors and subject matter experts. There's a lot of high-level research out there that shows the importance of movement. Unfortunately, people with pain tend to avoid movement, which makes sense when your joints are so swollen you physically can't even bend your knees to put on your own socks, or when every step you take causes excruciating shooting pain throughout your whole body. Moving your joints when you're in pain is easier said than done. It's usually the last thing someone wants to do when they're in pain. You see, this whole idea of movement to alleviate pain goes against conventional wisdom. We've been led to believe that the more you use your joints, the faster they wear out. We've been led to believe that this wear and tear is what causes joint problems and that it's irreversible. I'm here to tell you that's absolutely false. There's actually research conducted by a lone Harvard University science on a 6,000-year-old skeleton, and what he found shocked the scientific community. His research showed that how our ancient ancestors' joints were actually far healthier than our own, which is weird, right? The ancient population didn't have cars. They actually walked everywhere. They ran and jumped to hunt for food or escape natural predators. They did a lot of squatting and kneeling to plant and harvest vegetables. But research shows that their joints were actually strong, healthy, and even youthful. This research suggests that our ancient ancestors' joints were healthy because they moved a lot more, quite contrary to today's society where we move much less, where we can just have our food and groceries delivered to our front doorstep, a society where we spend so much time on social media and our phones. But what if I told you about a solution that relieves soreness and promotes mobility, reducing discomfort while walking, allowing for greater overall function, and avoiding the consequences associated with lack of movement? A solution that targets the root cause of your joint problems, allowing for freedom of movement for all your joints. And it has nothing to do with diet, physical therapy, crazy exercise routines, or injections. This ultra-simple 5-second remedy can do just that. It has already helped people like Steve M., 68 years old from Palm Coast, Florida.
I have arthritis in both joints, and a nurse practitioner introduced me to this. I've been able to chase my grandkids around again, and I can walk to the bus stop to pick up my granddaughter. I can squat and kneel again, which I do a lot when I garden. And thank goodness, because my garden was drying up and weeds were growing everywhere. So thank you.
As we just went over, interleukin is a protein that plays a huge role in inflammation and the key to the joint pain kill switch. Unfortunately, we can't just target every protein and enzyme that has to do with inflammation. After all, when in moderation and when under control, inflammation acts as a defense mechanism for infections and aids in injury repair. Research shows that the best way to treat joint pain is to regulate the uncontrolled inflammatory inferno, while at the same time promoting the development of the tissue repair process. This needs to be done without disrupting important enzymes involved with your body's regular cellular activities. Inflammatory enzymes like interleukin need to be specifically targeted and suppressed to avoid harmful side effects. Unlike NSAIDs like Advil, ibuprofen, Motrin, or Aleve, which target both inflammatory and healthy normal enzymes. The joint pain kill switch is able to do just that. It's specific, safe, and all natural. It acts like a switch mechanism that limits the rush of inflammatory enzymes caused by interleukin and, at the same time, activates the flow of enzymes needed for joint support and repair. The results? Pain relief without any harmful or potentially dangerous side effects. It's that simple. My team and I at PhysioScience Health Institute went on a hunt for the best, most powerful, and effective natural solutions for relieving joint pain. Specifically, solutions that can suppress interleukin and initiate the joint pain kill switch. The results were astonishing. We found the first step in combating interleukin and inflammation in the nutrient-rich soils of Southeast Asia. We found that a simple spice has been used in traditional Indian medicine for centuries, and it's known to the local villagers as haldi. Haldi is used in the traditional Ayurveda healing system as an anti-inflammatory, a system that's been around for over 4,000 years and known for its organic, all-natural approach. Haldi, also known as turmeric, is considered a superfood. Research has shown that it does more than soothe inflammation. It's actually been shown to prevent early degeneration of cartilage and helps prevent bone loss. Researchers conclude that daily supplementation of Haldi may be a valuable and safe alternative to NSAIDs in patients suffering from degenerative joint diseases. It's also been compared to actual painkillers. In fact, Thailand's top medical university gave Haldi to 120 patients to discover that it relieved joint pain as effectively as painkillers without the dangerous side effects. The results were so promising that American researchers from Appalachian State University replicated the study. Their results confirmed Haldi's effectiveness in relieving joint pain, and they found that it makes physical activities easier, which makes sense. Once your knees, hips, and back aren't aching anymore, your daily routine would be easier. From standing in front of the stove to prepare dinner, to pushing around a vacuum cleaner, to sitting in any chair you want to read a book or enjoy movies with your grandchildren. Now, we could have created a concentrated form of Haldi and would have probably helped a lot of people, but we didn't stop there. I reminded myself about the tree of life and the numerous fruits it bore for healing. I kept telling myself that God put more ingredients out there on this earth to help those in need. Sure enough, as if it were divine timing, we discovered our second ingredient. We found it in the dry mountainous regions of Southeast Asia in a large flowering plant, a branching tree called Boswellia serrata. Like Haldi, Boswellia has been used for thousands of years in ancient medicine, especially when it comes to joint problems. A study of Asia's top 4 joint specialists found that it can reduce joint pain by as much as 90%. Plus, it helped alleviate joint swelling. To confirm these results, another team of scientists analyzed the 7 most credible human trials of this ingredient, covering a total of 545 patients. This study compared Boswellia to other joint treatment options and across 4 different measurements for joint pain and stiffness. Every study concluded Boswellia serrata to be the clear winner. But if we already had Haldi, why would we need Boswellia? This is where the magic happens. Research has shown that when used in combination, Haldi and Boswellia actually work together to form a potent combination that is stronger and more effective against inflammation. It's exactly what science should be doing. Taking natural, plant-based compounds that's been proven over thousands of years and making them more effective. With this all-natural, powerful, science-backed combination, I knew we had something truly special. And now, whether through divine timing, coincidence, or just luck, you find yourself reading this presentation, and I couldn't be more proud to introduce to you Arthronol. We put our heart and soul into this product, going above and beyond your traditional off-the-shelf joint supplement. It's the purest, most potent, most effective joint support formula on the market. It targets your chronic joint aches and discomfort at the root by limiting the inflammatory response caused by the bad protein interleukin, preventing the chain of events that wreak havoc on your knees, hips, back, shoulders, fingers, and wrists, and protects your joints for years to come. It eases joint soreness quickly so you can finally take back the reins of your life without being tied to addicting drugs, dangerous procedures, and never-ending doctor's visits. At Physioscience Health Institute, we demand the very best. And as amazing as the combination of these 2 ingredients proved to be, we wanted to take it up a notch to create the perfect joint solution. We wanted to add and combine more of these super nutrients. In fact, the next 2 super nutrients are actually found in most households in America. The first one was actually right under our noses, a fruit that most households usually have in their refrigerator or on display on the fruit tray. I'm talking about pineapples. Pineapples contain bromelain, a proteolytic enzyme that breaks down bad proteins associated with inflammation. Pineapple has been used for centuries in Central and South America to reduce inflammation and was first isolated from the pineapple plant in the late 1800s. So, how effective is it? There was a paper published in the Arthritis Research and Therapy that found bromelain to be more effective than diflucanac, the active ingredient in NSAIDs, in as many as 7 randomized trials. There was also a review of 10 studies that found bromelain to be effective at reducing symptoms of pain, swelling, and joint stiffness in people with osteoarthritis. Now, the 4th super nutrient. As the wise man once said, 1 apple a day drives the doctor away. I'm talking about the nutrient quercetin, which is found in the apple fruit. We successfully extracted this compound into a super concentrated form. Quercetin has been shown to soothe joint pain and proactively repair joint damage. In a 2017 meta-analysis on more than 109 clinical studies, researchers from the Journal of Future Medical Chemistry say it reduces the course of inflammation and it helps repair tissue damage. It also plays a protective role in both your brain and body against bacteria and disease. It's exactly the type of ingredient we were looking for: powerful, effective, all natural. With these 4 powerful components, we created an advanced botanical stack of all natural ingredients. And to make sure we covered all of our bases, we added 4 more ingredients that have a great history of success. Glucosamine sulfate to reduce joint aches and discomfort and improve joint function. Methionine, a compound known to build bone strength and delay cell aging. MSM, an ingredient that comes from root vegetables like garlic and onions. It has anti-inflammatory properties that soothe joint discomfort. And last but not least, chondroitin sulfate, known to slow down cartilage breakdown and helps maintain joint structure and integrity. A proprietary blend of 8 exotic nutrients and plants backed by clinical research. This unique and powerful blend of ingredients includes everything you need to slam the brakes on joint pain, enjoy smooth, comfortable movement, and delight in the renewed flexibility of your youth. Imagine jumping out of bed in the morning and walking down the stairs to your kitchen with ease. And as you sip your morning coffee and plan your day, suddenly every possibility is open back up to you. The good things in life, like comfortably sitting cross-legged on the floor with your grandkids while you happily play board games with them, or kneel down on the ground to tend the roses without fearing that you might get stuck down there frozen in pain. Think about how good it would feel to be more independent, self-sufficient, and free to move in your own body again. That's the reality made possible with this advanced botanical stack of all natural ingredients. But now we need a manufacturing company to bring our hard work and effort to light. It was a lot more difficult than I expected. The first company we spoke to seemed like a good fit, but they wanted to use fillers in the supplement, which was absolutely a big no. The second company didn't have a system for testing the product. They couldn't test for impurities, and they couldn't test to ensure that everything that was on the label was in the bottle. We must have called over a dozen companies. What happened next was nothing short of divine intervention. My mother, Suzanne, had called me asking about how product development was going. She asked me how our search for a manufacturing company was going. I couldn't lie to my mother. I told her we were failing and that I wasn't sure we'd ever be able to create this formula that she and thousands of other people suffering every day from joint pain desperately needed. Like the loving, intuitive, and endearing mother that she has always been throughout my entire life, she knew exactly what to tell me. She reminded me of a scripture, Matthew 7:7. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will open to you. That's what I needed to hear to keep my faith that everything was going to work out. I promised her I would do whatever it takes to make this work. And this is what I love about God. Because the very next day, I found a manufacturing company that had everything I was looking for. They believe in providing people with the best whole ingredients from natural sources. So together, we formed the supplement division of Physioscience Health Institute. We are now able to manufacture supplements that are 100% natural, GMO-free, good manufacturing practice certified, GMP, and from a location that is an approved FDA-registered facility in the United States of America. Most of all, we're now able to change the lives of thousands of joint pain sufferers, like the life-changing results so many of our happy customers are experiencing right now. So I'm guessing you're excited to get your hands on a supply of Arthronol today. And you should be. After all, you've seen the rock-solid evidence behind Arthronol, and you know exactly how and why it works so well. You've heard some of the overjoyed men and women who've tried it for themselves. You've seen that we've spared no expense developing this one-of-a-kind formula and willingly cut into our own profits to ensure you receive only the very best science-backed ingredients and scientifically effective dosages. A powerful advanced botanical stack of 8 natural ingredients backed by clinical studies and scientific research from prestigious universities. So, with all that said, I understand that price might be a concern for you right now, which brings us to that all-important question, how much is Arthronol? Well, let me ask you this. How much is optimum joint health really worth to you? How much value do you put on waking up in the morning with strong, flexible, and mobile joints, and to be able to skip through your day in complete comfort? can you really put a price tag on youthful joints and the freedom, independence, and opportunity that comes with it? To be able to return to the hobbies and activities that used to bring you so much joy before joint pain stole them from you. To put the spark back in your relationship because you're no longer in agony. And to look to the future with hope, excitement, and thoughts of what you can do instead of what you can't. How much is that kind of freedom really worth to you? Whatever figure you have in mind, you know as well as I do that taking action today and investing in yourself and your long-term joint health will be one of the best investments you could ever make. By doing nothing, on the other hand, you'll inevitably be forced to spend hundreds and possibly even thousands of dollars over the next few years on Band-Aid solutions that don't address the issue at its root, which means they simply can't give you the results you need because they can't slow down the inevitable rush of destructive inflammatory enzymes as you age. So let me ask you again, how much would you be willing to part with for the chance to enjoy flexible, healthy joints with no effort required? And finally, remove that black cloud circling above your life. Okay, enough waiting. Due to the cutting-edge nature of this formula and its unique ability to target the root cause of age-related joint discomfort, the retail price of Arthronol was originally set at $199 for a 30-day supply. And you know as well as I do that this price is already a bargain. But here's the thing. After seeing life-changing results with people like my own mother, I wanted Arthronol to be within reach of as many people as possible. And the team here at Physioscience Supplements agreed with me. They told me the best way to cut our costs so we could offer the lowest possible price would be to make Arthronol available online only. In other words, we bypass the stores, which means we cut out the middleman and pass the savings on to you. The downside of that is that it means Arthronol is only available through this website. The upside is it allowed us to slash the price on a 30-day supply to just $129. A huge discount off its retail value. But wait a second, it gets even better. As you've probably realized, my motivation throughout this journey was never financial. My goal was to help my own mother get back her best life. And now I want you to do that too. I want you to be able to move comfortably and freely, to feel happy and confident in your own body again, and to be the best mother, father, wife, husband, grandmother, or grandfather you can be. Because that's what really matters in life. That's why I pushed our finance team again. They said we could offer a further discount, but as long as it was only temporary, and as long as the biggest discount was only for the people who needed it the most. So if you look below, you'll see that for a limited time only, you can try a 30-day supply of Arthronol at a huge savings. As you can see, if you really need the support of Arthronol, you can stock up on a 3 or 6 month supply at an even bigger discount. We've done this for 2 reasons. First, because shipping you in bulk rather than sending out just one bottle at a time reduces costs, and we can then pass those savings on to you. But more importantly, stocking up on a larger supply of Arthronol will help ensure you achieve real long-lasting results, and that's what we want. Now, you're probably wondering how often to take it for best results. It's actually really simple. Just take 2 capsules each day for at least 30 days. Taking it for at least 30 days allows Arthronol to penetrate your joint damage at the core, allowing each ingredient to fight the war against joint inflammation while soothing your knees, ankles, and fingers in the process. And while your joints may have been inflamed and lacking nutrients for a while now, triggering the harmful enzymes associated with inflammation and silently sending searing bolts of pain through your knees, wrists, and fingers, it's crucial to allow these therapeutic nutrients to do their job while they go to work and remove these traces of joint damage and discomfort from the inside out. Because remember, your aches and spasms, unrelenting stiffness, and never-ending fatigue are warning signs coming from your body, meaning that the joint damage is already worsening, while inviting other diseases to take shape at the same time, making it crucial that your body absorbs each ingredient over the course of a few weeks, so it can not only penetrate and rebuild your joints from within the cells of your body, but also so it can revitalize your whole body mobility, soothing comfort, and quality of life in the long term. That's why most health experts recommend that you choose at least 3 bottles of Arthronol, and 6 bottles so your joints can properly function for years to come. That way, you're taking the most effective approach possible against a never-ending barrage of inflammatory enzymes, while alleviating the fears of chronic inflammatory inferno ruining your every waking hour, allowing you to enjoy a full and active life again. That's why I personally recommend that you stock up now while you can so you can enjoy great results for the long term. and stocking up now really is the smart thing to do, because Arthronol helps relieve swollen, achy hips, knees, and wrists at such an incredible rate. Most of our customers who use it keep asking for more, because for the first time in a long time, their stiff, achy joints is no longer a factor in having the health they desire. And the word gets out. Arthronol is also becoming extremely popular in Europe, and I've already received more than a dozen calls to prepare bulk purchases of 100 bottles or more, which is putting even more of a strain on production, especially since it takes up to 3 weeks to custom create each batch. Plus, because the nutrients inside are designed to fight joint inflammation and supports pain-free living, even people who don't have debilitating aches and spasms want it, so they can avoid falling in or succumbing to this paralyzing condition. And as a result of the fact that Arthronol is expensive to manufacture, takes up to 3 weeks to produce a single batch, and continues to sell like hotcakes, I frequently don't have any Arthronol available for sale. But if you can see all 3 money-saving options below, it means we do have enough bottles of Arthronol available to ship right now. So I recommend you take advantage of this special discount pricing now to guarantee there's no interruption in your progress over the next few months. And please remember, this is a limited time offer. We simply can't afford to keep it going for much longer. Also, let me assure you that this is a one-time payment. There are no subscriptions or hidden charges. And you don't need to worry about the ordering process either. When you select your savings, you'll be sent through to our secure ordering page, which uses 256-bit encryption technology, the same technology used by Amazon and the world's biggest banks. So you can be completely confident that your information is 100% safe and secure. Plus, I want to take all the risk off your shoulders to prove to you that this formula works wonders and you have absolutely nothing to worry about by throwing in a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee with your purchase. Here's how it works. Order your preferred package of Arthronol, follow the dosage instructions, and see how it soothes your knee, hip, wrist, and shoulder discomfort fast. You'll accelerate the speed at which you recover your younger, limber, flexible body again. And for the first time in a long time, your joint discomfort will no longer be a factor in having the health, happiness, and the love you desire, just like the thousands of Americans before you. And if for some reason you're not happy with Arthronol, simply call or email my US-based customer service team at any time of the day, and we'll refund 100% of the purchase price, no questions asked. You have absolutely nothing to lose. We can't make it much fairer than that, right? So go ahead and select your savings from the options below, completely risk-free for 60 days, regardless of the package you choose. This presentation is now ending, and the ultimate decision is yours. I want to offer you a sincere thank you for watching this presentation today, and congratulations for taking what I'm confident will be a tremendous step toward living without suffering. If you're still on the fence, I'd like to ask you to do me one last small favor. I want you to take a moment to imagine what will happen if you decide not to take action now. For instance, you may decide to keep looking around at various options. This decision-making process might drag on for weeks or even months. But while you're being thorough, carefully considering all your choices, in the meantime, your joint health will continue going downhill. Believe me, I've seen far too many people who are desperate for any solution besides surgery come to us for advice and disappear for months before finally returning with their problem having worsened, because deep down, they just couldn't pull the trigger on taking action. Maybe they were hesitant to make a change, or maybe they were just secretly hoping it would somehow get better on its own. Whatever the reason, I can assure you that standing pat and letting more time pass is not a solution. In fact, it's the opposite of one. Because with every day that goes by, your joints become weaker and the pain gets worse. And when your body's constantly hurting, stopping you from doing all the things you once could, can make you feel old too. You may continue to feel restricted by your choices of where not to go and what not to do. Instead, now is your opportunity to have that freedom to enjoy whatever your heart desires. And with our 60-day full money-back guarantee, there's absolutely no risk to trying this revolutionary solution that can give you your life back. The biggest difference Arthronol can make is by giving you peace of mind. The most wonderful feedback I've gotten from customers I've been lucky enough to help is an experience I've heard time and time again. It's a phenomenon I call Freedom Day, because in each and every one of their stories, they all use those two words when describing it. Freedom Day is usually the day they'll realize for the first time they haven't been thinking about their achy joints. They're not worrying about needing to rest or scared of causing more damage. You see, when you're not worrying about a problem that's been chronically nagging you, your mind is freed up to think about other things and experience life in a way that's been eluding you for who knows how long. It's almost like realizing a headache you've had for days has finally gone away. Simply put, you're now a happier person. Wouldn't that be incredible? To reach that place where you're finally free from the aching, stiffness, and swelling that often hits you after you've done too much. Imagine what you'd do, how you'd celebrate. Now hold on to that feeling, because that's the kind of future Arthronol can deliver. Thousands of Americans are now experiencing those joyous feelings for themselves and embarking on a new beginning. This is your chance to join them, to join the Physioscience Health Institute family and transform your joint health and your future. So make the right decision. Make the only decision you can make, both for yourself and your family. Select your savings, hit the button below, and put Arthronol to the test, completely risk-free for 60 days. Thank you so much for reading, and God bless. I look forward to hearing your success story very soon. Sincerely, Dr. Makasadia. Still here? No problem. I know we just covered a lot. To help you out, let me go ahead and answer some of the most common questions you might have. 1. That was a lot of valuable information. How exactly does Arthronol work again? Arthronol is based on major breakthrough research from a team of elite healthcare professionals at Physioscience Health Institute after realizing that joint pain needs to be targeted at its root to mitigate the floodgates of harmful inflammatory enzymes that can wreak havoc on your joints. Arthronol targets harmful inflammatory enzymes like interleukin using an advanced botanical stack of 8 natural ingredients that are backed by scientific research. The combination of these 8 natural ingredients were carefully selected for their potency and unique ability to alleviate joint discomfort. Most importantly, they each become even more powerful when working together. That's because the ingredients in Arthronol not only works to soothe inflammation, but also has properties of joint protection. Arthronol soothes your joints and provides fast and long-lasting relief. It improves your entire body's mobility, physical function, and quality of life, so you can finally get your life back. You won't ever have to worry about sore knees, swollen ankles, and stiff wrists plaguing your every waking thought. So you can be there for the people that mean the most in your life, like your children, grandchildren, your spouse, and your friends. 2. My joint pain is much more severe than most. Is Arthronol still for me? Let's face the facts. You've tried other pain relievers that did not work as promised, and you're rightfully skeptical. The nutrients in Arthronol are proven to work in clinical studies, the highest level of proof, and by thousands of people just like you. In fact, if for any reason you don't experience life-changing results, or you simply change your mind for any reason at all, we will issue a 100% no questions asked refund. All that being said, the answer is yes, this powerful breakthrough will work for you. 3. It sounds like there's a lot of demand for Arthronol. How long will it be available for? This one's a little tricky. My goal is to share Arthronol with everyone suffering from never-ending joint problems. But because Big Pharma is furious about this discovery and spends millions of dollars on legal fees to try to silence us, I'm not sure how long this will be up for sale. That's why it's crucial that you get your Arthronol today, so you aren't left in the shadows, hoping that something as powerful as Arthronol hits the market. 4. I'm a little hesitant when it comes to buying things online. What happens when I click the button below? Once you choose your package below, you'll go to my 100% secure checkout page, where it contains 228-bit SSL technology for your total security. Then simply enter your payment information and place your order. After that, you'll receive Arthronol in the next 5 business days, which means you're less than a week away from finally taking control over chronic joint pain. 5. I can see how Arthronol is truly unique from other products I've tried in the past, but I'm still hesitant. Can you remind me about your guarantee? Of course, Arthronol comes with a 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. That means you order Arthronol today, and you'll have a full 2 months to decide if it's right for you. If you're like the other 100,000 plus people who have used Arthronol already, then you will be thrilled with the results. But if for some reason you're not happy, simply call or email my US-based customer service team, and we'll refund 100% of your investment. No hassles, no questions asked, which means you truly have nothing to lose today when you get started. 7. I'm so glad I came across your joint pain breakthrough. How can I get started? That's easy. Just press the button to choose the package of Arthronol that's best for you below this video right now. Then complete your order, and Arthronol will arrive at your front door within just 5 business days from now. Plus, there's no risk because of my ironclad 60-day guarantee. This presentation is now ending, and I appreciate you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Go ahead and choose your package now. Take Arthronol as directed for at least 30 days, and I cannot wait to hear about your success story. Thank you for watching, and God bless. Dr. Makasadia.